Civil rights activist Medgar Evers was born on July 2, 1925 in Decatur, Mississippi. Growing up in a Mississippi farming family, Evers was drafted into the U.S. Army in 1943. He fought in both France and Germany during World War II and received an honorable discharge in 1946. After his tour of duty, Evers returned home and took advantage of the GI Bill and attended Alcorn College, now Alcorn State University, in Lowman, Mississippi. He majored in business administration and quickly discovered the many racial injustices directed towards African Americans and vowed one day to make a difference. During his senior year, he met and quickly fell in love with fellow classmate Merle Beasley. The two courted for a short year and married on Christmas Eve 1951. They would later go on to have 3 children. The family settled in Mississippi, and upon graduating in 1952, Evers went to work as an insurance salesman to provide a secure way of life for his wife and children. Inspired and motivated by the monumental Brown v. Board of Education ruling in 1954, Evers's passion for justice and equality would eventually cause him to quit his stable job of selling insurance and commit his entire life and savings to the civil rights movement. The NAACP quickly took notice of this ambitious, courageous African American and appointed him as their very first field secretary. As field secretary, Evers single-handedly organized voter registration efforts, arranged economic boycotts against white-owned businesses that discriminated against African Americans, planned marches and rallies, as well as investigated crimes against African Americans. Evers was the force behind the reopening of the investigation of the 2 men accused of the lynching of Emmett Till.
Ruby Hurley, A.F.C. Moore, and Medgar Evers at the trial. They came to the trial every day. Sometimes A.F.C. Moore and Medgar were out looking for witnesses, or Medgar was busy escorting Moses Wright to and from the courtroom safely because his life was being threatened every minute.
Medgar was the one who actually was on the scene and went to money and went to places trying to get information on it.
As well as James Meredith, the first African American to attend the all-white University of Mississippi. This outraged many white supremacy groups, and several death threats were made not only to Evers, but to his wife and children as well, including a firebombing of their house in May 1963. Despite the overwhelming challenges and enormous obstacles, Evers was determined not to give up on his pledge for equal rights to all African Americans. On June 12, 1963, while returning home from an NAACP board meeting, Byron De La Beckwith, an active member of the KKK, shot and killed Evers with a single gunshot to the back in the driveway of his home. De La Beckwith was tried twice by an all-white jury in 1964. Both trials ended with hung juries. In 1994, De La Beckwith would be tried a 3rd time because of new evidence produced by a prison guard who reported De La Beckwith bragged about fatally killing Evers. After deliberating for 6 hours, this time by a mixed jury, De La Beckwith was given life in prison.
All of the ghosts, all of the evil little bits surrounding this case escaped from my body at the time the guilty verdict was read.
He died in prison at the age of 80. Although living a short 38 years, Evers was able to ignite a sense of urgency to continue the quest for civil rights. Outraged by his death, thousands of peaceful protesters energized the power of the movement, which eventually caused the creation of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Myrlie Evers, a noted author and activist, was elected chairwoman of the board of directors of the NAACP. Currently, she is a member of the board's executive committee. She has committed her life to keeping her husband's legacy alive and reminding everyone of her late husband's poignant motto, "Violence is not the way."
It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will.